Testing 1 2, testing 1 2, mic test.
Testing.
Balls.
Balls.
No, I did it first. It's mine. I own it. I've claimed it.
I told you somebody was gonna say it. Good thing we tested all those other times.
Fucking hate you. You're the worst human being I've ever met. Fucking. Hello, Internet. You're listening to Jane Plays Games. I'm just your average noob, but mashing my way to victory. As always. Always victory. We had this discussion last time. That's always victorious.
Fair.
I'm always joined by my partner in crime, Jack. Say hello.
Hello.
Podcast number 5. Wow. So we've officially been doing this for like a solid month. So thanks for tuning in, all 5 of you. We appreciate you.
Like 15.
That's generous. It is what it is. Let's be honest. There
Fair.
are like 5 of you, and that's fine. I hope you had a very spoopy Halloween. We sure did. I played Five Nights at Freddy's for like an hour. And had the longest panic attack I think I've ever had.
And then I helped.
Yeah, so if you missed those videos, I put my most heinous jump scares on our channel. So be sure to check those bad boys out. And then Jack decided it would be cool to,
Scare her.
Scare her, yeah.
By bursting in the back door suddenly.
Never like when my back door is bursted into.
It's true.
Nobody likes
It's
that.
unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. So go check that out, you sadistic weirdo, you. We also began our Total Warhammer Vampire campaign for like the 3rd time.
You.
I started my vampire campaign for like the 3rd time. Just to save my pride more than anything. But I finally enlisted Jack's help because I was done just failing. It's hard to do by yourself, though. Like, it's a completely different dynamic when you're doing a solo campaign.
It's true. It's because you have no one to rely on.
Right. So, because, like, I think I mentioned something in the video. It's like, when I'm playing with you, all the armies I'm fighting against are already, like, half dead by the time I get to them. Because you've already, like, murdered half of the continent. So, it's a lot. It's, like, a lot more watered down. And doing it by myself, everyone's very mean, and I don't know what I'm doing. And they all want to hurt me real bad.
It's true, they do.
Yeah, so I think you only almost struck me like 8 times. So I feel like we've made progress.
No, there was a lot of me going, no.
No.
Also, no.
I say it went really well, I think.
I mean, the biggest revelation was that you were trying to use bats. And just so everyone's clear, not like Warhammer bats, like the small mammal.
Like spoopy bats.
As her line infantry.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah, shocking that didn't work out.
No.
I was real surprised.
I mean, I was as shocked as you.
I'm sure you were genuinely surprised.
I was genuinely surprised that didn't work. I felt like I could have an exuberant amount of bats at any given time because they're pretty cheap. So I figured I would just outnumber them with bats, and I wouldn't have to rely on any other sort of skill set other than I have more bats than you have anything else. That was incorrect.
Yeah.
And I understand that now.
That did not work out.
I did my best. But now I feel like I'm doing better. I won 2 whole battles.
You did.
All by myself. No help.
No help.
0. Jack didn't assist at all.
I get it.
It's fine.
I get it. It's a solo campaign starting again.
No. Jack campaign. Heart of Champion, remember?
Truly.
But enough about my shortcomings, I guess. Let's get into some good news. Because maybe, just maybe, I found a game I didn't immediately suck at. I know.
I was just as surprised as everyone else.
It's incredible. I said in the last podcast I was super stoked about Steven Universe Save the Light coming out, and Rebecca Sugar did not disappoint. I'm obsessed. It is so charming. All my best friends are there, and I'm actually doing really well, I think.
You are having a wonderful time.
It is such a magical fucking adventure. It's so just lovely.
It's giving you time to think.
Yeah.
I'm playing it as well because it is a fun little RPG.
Adorable.
And it's starting off pretty simple. I'm interested to see how far they take it with the RPG mechanics and just how difficult they're actually going to make the game.
Yeah. I mean, I think... Well, I'm a little bit... We're almost at the same spot right now. I think I'm a little bit farther than you. We might be at the same spot. But have you gone back to, like, some of the first areas and fought some of those monsters again? Because it is significantly easier. Like, you don't notice it, or I didn't notice it until I went back. I was like, holy shit, I know what the fuck I'm doing. And I was really excited because, like, I've played RPGs before, and, like, I have some sort of knowledge about how they're supposed to work. Well, I thought I did. Like, my game plan up until Steven Universe was, like, make attack as strong as possible and don't fuck with anything else. But now I kind of understand the mechanics and understand leveling up your characters, and I felt like that was a little bit of a...
Well, it's stripped out a lot of the difficulties that RPGs have kind of gained over the years, with the assumption that, you know, your player base has grown with you. Mm-hmm. So there's not some of the more convoluted stuff that has grown in there. It's a lot like Super Mario RPG for the Super Nintendo, which was a great game, and not many games followed its active battle system, like Legend of Dragoon did to a certain extent. And just being active in the fight instead of just kind of selecting what people are doing. Like, you still need to have some timing for button pushes and blocking, and it's just a good system that has been underutilized.
It's fun as hell.
It is.
It's really, really fun. I'm having a really good time with it. And I agree. Like, I was looking over my notes for this podcast and, like, what I wanted to talk about with Steven Universe and why I think I'm having an easier enough time with it. And I think it's exactly that. It's like, it's giving me a chance to catch up on that learning curve. Because we talked about in previous podcasts how there's a significant learning curve with games now coming out, because they kind of almost expect you to have grown up with that system or grown up with that style. And I didn't. Like, I'm completely new to this entire thing. So yeah, Steven Universe might be a kid's game, but it's kind of where I'm starting. Do you know what I mean?
And that's interesting. It's that kids' games for a long time, it was either Nintendo games, which were accessible to kids, or they were just bad. Mm-hmm. So to see a more widespread release that's kind of teaching RPG mechanics to a new generation that might not be interested in the Chrono Triggers and, you know, Final Fantasy 6 and 7, and even those weren't terribly simple, but it's just kind of that old school mentality, and it still works. Like Battle Chasers Night War, it's the same thing. It's an old school RPG. Battle Chasers, way more going on in it, and you would drown in it a little bit. But this game, it's right up your alley. It's pretty much what you're looking for, and it stars
my favorite people. My best friend, Steven Universe, who is my spirit animal. I am Steven Universe on so many levels. And Amethyst is there, and Greg, my good pal Greg, and all the crystal gems are there, and Lion is... Oh, God, I could go on. It's so good.
So you're having a good time.
I'm having a wonderful time.
It's a stark difference between Warhammer and Steven Universe.
No, yeah, it's an absolutely stark difference. Like, Jack came home the other night, and I was, like, in my pink unicorn onesie, having a great time with all my bestest friends in Steven Universe. I'm just having a good time. I'm glad you had downloaded it, too, because I'm having fun playing with you or watching where you go. And it's fun because, like, I can finally, like, give you advice, kind of. Like, I'm like, oh, you want that. And it's a good feeling, like, because I understand the gameplay.
That I'm also like, who are any of these people?
Why don't they like each other? Yeah. So I'm glad to be, like, to have the upper hand is fun. But I think, yeah, I'm definitely gravitating more toward games like Duelists, like Pokemon, like Steven Universe, where, yeah, they're more kid-based, they're more kid-friendly, but...
Well... Duelist isn't really...
Duelist, maybe not. I mean, it's younger. It's not blood and gore by any means.
Well, I mean, just because it's not blood and gore, it's still geared...
It's more an adult game, yeah.
It's more of a broad spectrum game, but it goes out of its way to explain, because it's a new style of game, it's going out of its way to explain all of its mechanics to you, where a lot of games kind of gloss over it, or they only show up in, like, a little tip bubble where it's like, hey...
remember this.
One sentence this, and it's like if you have no experience with it, it's not easy to pin that down on top of maybe you're not super familiar with the controls and everything else. Like it's been interesting to suggest games to you because either A, you haven't really been interested in them, or B, they're a bit difficult, in how they work mechanics wise to begin with, but then the basic controls are still very difficult too. Like playing Total Warhammer with you, it's like you need a better handle on the camera. Like even without anything else.
Yeah.
It's one of those very simple things, but when you throw all this other stuff on top of it, it becomes very hectic.
Yeah, and it's stressful because like as much as I like the run and gun style with Vermintide, I love playing with you guys. It's fun. We always have a good time. And just like the shooter style in Destiny, there comes a point where I hit that learning curve. It's a steep learning curve, and it becomes frustrating because I'm not progressing as fast as I think I should. I'm still enjoying Witcher a lot too, but again, there are some skill sets I just don't have yet to fully enjoy it, like after a certain point. So I guess I've come to terms with like where I am right now and what I can build up to. So I think I want to find more turn-based games right now. Like I like this style. So knowing what you know about what I'm into, what game styles I like, and where my skill set is right now, what are some games you'd recommend for me?
Chrono Trigger would probably be close to the top of the list, mostly because it's on most people's short list of best game of all time. So tracking that down, I'm not even sure what more modern systems it came out for. I'm pretty sure I have it on the PlayStation 1 somewhere.
Do we have a PlayStation 1?
Yes, we do. Somewhere in the house.
Maybe.
But other than that, after you finish Steven Universe, even Battle Chasers might not be a bad idea, just to kind of see where you're at and see if you can manage that system a little bit better. And then it just really depends. Like we could look at Disgaea, which is a turn-based tactical RPG, which is a little bit different. But
is it more akin to Warhammer?
No. It's more akin to chess, would be closer to it.
Oh.
But every unit has different abilities and can do different things, but it's set up on a grid.
So similar to Duelist, where it's set up on a grid.
Kinda.
Well, I picked up Duelist pretty quickly, so that might be something to look into, because I enjoy that kind of gameplay. But I think I'm definitely going to look into those. I don't know, I'm enjoying it this week. Like, usually, up until now, like, I've had a great time, don't get me wrong. Vermintide, shit tons of fun. Destiny, shit tons of fun. Having a great time with most of the games we've tried. Do you know what I mean? But this has been the most enjoyable week.
It hasn't been work.
No.
Like, part of the problem is that the games that you're interested in, you don't possess the skill set for them, and they're advanced versions of other games. Like, even Civilization might be simpler of a game than Total Warhammer. So you're throwing a lot of stuff at a skill set that you just don't have. It'll serve you well going on, but
it does get frustrating though. Like it's not that it hasn't been fun, but it comes to a point where I wish I could play more with you guys. I wish I could play with Rolk and you more, but there comes a point where my skill set just isn't there yet. And
it's hard to say what to do with that. Like, Destiny is probably the closest thing on the market to baby's first-person shooter.
Yeah.
So, it's not going to get much easier than that.
I played Halo.
Yeah.
I had a good time
baby's
with
first-person shooter. No, I like Halo.
Halo's great.
Halo was, even if you don't like Halo, it made first-person shooters usable on the console. It was the first game that really had controls dialed in. So, I know a lot of people that don't really like the Halo series. It's like, well, if you like other first-person shooters on console, then you have at least a little bit to owe Halo because they dialed in the controls correct.
But going forward, yeah, I think that's kind of what I'm going to focus on this week.
The first DLC for Curse of Osiris, the first DLC for Destiny 2 will be coming out pretty soon. Mm-hmm. So that'll give you a bit more
to play with.
Yeah.
Because again, yeah, it's that's the only reason I haven't really been playing Destiny is because I'm not good enough to do the trials yet, or to do, what was the other thing we were gonna do?
The raid. I'm
not there yet. You know, and like I could get pulled along and I could get dragged, but I mean, where's the fun in that? You know what I mean? So I don't know. We'll get there. But you said the DLC. Do you know when the DLC is coming out for that?
I don't. I haven't been paying that much attention to it.
What have you been playing this week? I've been in Steven Universe World, so I have no idea what you've been playing.
I've been playing The Witcher, and I said I was going to play through the story and finish the story.
Have you finished it?
Instead, I've been playing Gwent because I am that kind of person. Like, in my personal life, I don't finish everything, and I usually don't get distracted from my goals too terribly easily. If I do something, I'm going to go do it, and then that's the end. But in The Witcher, I'm just playing Gwent with randos, and it's like, oh, this isn't a tremendous waste of my time, and exactly the opposite of what I said I was going to do. But I'm having a good time with it.
That's what you were doing when I pulled you away to come do this podcast.
Yep. And that's what I'll be doing after.
In Gwent World. But, no, that's cool. So it's been primarily Witcher, then, this week for you. Because I haven't really seen you on Battle Chasers. I haven't really... What else have you been playing?
I've been playing Steven Universe.
Yeah, that's true. You have been playing that.
And I booted up Total Warhammer a little bit. I've looked at the new releases and still...
Are you trying to do your backlog though, right?
Yes. I've got Wolfenstein to knock out, and instead I'm playing Gwent in The Witcher. So there's that.
That is what it is. What do you want to play this week? It's more of the same? Or...
This week, I'd like to finish something. Whether it's The Witcher or Wolfenstein, one of the two I'd like to knock out. But from what I know about The Witcher's DLCs, that could take very long time.
Yeah, we both downloaded all the DLC for Witcher, and I think it's going to take a bazillion years approximately.
Yeah, it's going to be... it's going to take a little bit.
It's a lot. I think I'm going to... I want to finish Steven Universe first and foremost because it's my new favorite thing. Ever. It just brings me so much...
Gonna 100% it?
100%. Everything.
You were going through every map and you were stressing out about not being able to 100% different aspects of the game.
Because I want to finish that game because every aspect of it is my favorite. Except, okay, we did discover this week that I will not ever be able to do platform games.
Your platforming skill...
I cannot do it.
Is...
Garbage.
It's ridiculous.
Hot garbage. I have zero spatial reasoning.
Mario is looking at you and just shaking his head.
Judging me.
Like, I've taught you nothing.
I can't do it. I don't know why. I have no idea what the disconnect is, but I will never be able to do any sort of platform game. The only thing I didn't like about, or I haven't liked about Steven Universe is the platform bits.
The platforming is a little wonky. With the art style, because it's super... It looks like the cartoon. Actually, it looks like a simplified version of the cartoon. Mm-hmm. It can be difficult to tell where you are sometimes when it comes to foreground and background. And some of the jumps they're asking you to make are foreground, background jumps. And telling the distance is not easy. I've even had some trouble with it, and
You don't have poor spatial reasoning.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with most games, but there have been certain sections where I've seen her struggle at it, and I've walked through it no problem, and then there are other times where I'm like, oh, this is bad.
Simple. But no, I mean, I think it's great. But I definitely want to sink some more time into that. I want to sink some time into The Witcher, but I feel like Steven Universe is going to take the cake this week. But
that shouldn't
I don't think it's going to be
take you
a time
long
suck
to finish.
Yeah.
If the percentages and, depending on how much the game ramps up, I mean, I think we're both at roughly 33% of the way done.
Yeah.
And we really only got a handful of days ago.
We got it the day it came out. It came out on the 2nd.
Yeah, so it hasn't been out too long, and we're knocking it out.
Yeah.
The Beastmen on Total Warhammer have become my favorite race to play, by the way. Yes, absolutely. They are a ton of fun.
I don't know. Yeah, because I haven't really been keeping up with your solo campaign. You're doing Beastmen?
I'm not even committing to a campaign, really. I'm just
kind of fucking around.
Yeah, I'm playing with a bunch of different battles and running different stuff just to see what works and kind of how crazy you can get stuff.
I don't feel like yours get real crazy real quickly. Why are Beastmen your favorite? Like, why did that become?
They have a decent... It's because they don't ever seem terribly locked up in line fights, and even when they are, they're just kind of like smashing around. So they're just a lot of fun, and the way that they operate on the map as a horde faction where you're not really nation building is just
it's not economy based, it's just fuck shit up.
Yeah, and it's just different from a lot of the games, strategy games like that I've played, so I'm having a blast with them.
You know what I really want to get into, and this is off topic, like I really didn't even write a note about this, but now that I'm here, I want to talk about it. I want like a World of Warcraft. I want a League of Legends or World of Warcraft kind of community.
Oh, yeah. Community-wise, yeah.
Yeah. What do you recommend for that? Because I know you're like anti-League of Legends, which is fine. But what do you recommend instead, just so I have something else to play this week? Because I want the community building aspect of it too. Because I feel like I've been playing a lot of solo lately.
That stuff's kind of on you. Like the Total Warhammer, community is pretty tight knit.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like a lot of those guys know each other. It's about going on the Steam pages and Reddit and talking about it and building that way. But, if you want something that's built in, like an MMO of some description where you have guilds and stuff like that, like that's really the other option.
What was that game we saw the other day, the Final Fantasy one? The Final Fantasy MMO. Wasn't there one that we were talking about? Or maybe I'm just crazy.
We were talking about Final Fantasy 14?
Something like that?
Yeah.
It's 14. On Steam right now, yeah?
Yeah, it's been out there for a while.
I think I might pick that up too. But, yeah. Steven Universe for sure, Witcher for sure, possibly an MMO. And I'm going to try really hard to start. I want to stream a little bit of something tomorrow, if I have time, hopefully. Probably Warhammer, if I'm totally honest. But I don't know, maybe I'll branch out a little bit. Darkest Dungeon, mayhaps. I don't know. Something. Something entertaining. But if I don't get around to it, then I'll be streaming with Jack for sure at around 7 p.m. on Friday.
Okay.
With our, by the way, in case I didn't tell you, that's when we'll be streaming this week.
Got it.
Yeah, put it on your calendar. We're going to be doing the Dark Elves campaign, the Total Warhammer Dark Elves campaign, if I can speak today. And you can expect a new vampire campaign on Sunday, probably Monday, but I'm going to really try for Sunday. And of course, the new podcast will come out. This is like, we've only had one late day this month for a podcast.
It's true.
I'm so proud of me. It is 100% me. I'm the best there ever was.
You did it.
I did it.
So proud.
You should be. Anything else you want to talk about? This is a shorter one, but I feel like this week was pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, we were busy this week. That was part of the problem.
We were really busy this week, and I went on a date with my friends and saw Thor, which I highly recommend. If you have not seen Thor Ragnarok, you're
I haven't.
missing
I was left.
out. You were left late to the party. Bye. Yeah, but we were busy. But maybe next week we'll have a bigger update.
It's true.
Right? Do you have anything else you want to chat about really quick?
Nothing really. Check out the Vampire Counts campaign, if nothing else, just to see me berate Jane.
Just see how close we get to domestic violence issues. You can hear the anger in his voice.
I'm not angry.
Swelling. Just
I'm
disappointed.
just disappointed.
And that hurts more. Jack, that hurts more. But yeah, check out the Vampires campaign if you haven't. Check out the Five Nights at Freddy jump scares if you want to see me scream like a child. And if you want to see me fall on the ground. Because Jack is an asshole and decided it would be funny to scare me on Halloween after 5 nights.
It's your boy.
It's your boy. But yeah, new podcast on Monday. Other than that, make sure you're following us on Twitch and Twitter and Facebook and possibly Instagram. Maybe I made us one. Maybe I'll link it in the Facebook. If you're following us on Facebook, you'll have the link then. We'll be doing, surprise streams and updates there. So if you like us and you want to continue learning more about us, do that. Any final words? Any words of wisdom, Jack? Nothing?
Nope.
Nothing. Well, okay, go.
I got nothing for you this week.
This is nothing. Well, this was easy. This is going to be so easy for me to edit. Great. This has been Jack and Jane for Jane Plays Games. Yeah, insert clever sign off here.